Hi guys, Jared Dennison here. We're on this show called Realities of Real Estate, where we bring you guys the in-depth details of how real estate actually works, as well as overviews of some of the more specific processes of real estate. And we dive into myths, try to myth bust those myths, as well as other topics and ranges of topics throughout real estate from all of our partners. Today, we are going to be talking very general about what the buying process looks like. There are a couple key elements that I think people put before other parts of the transaction in buying, where I really wish everybody would do it the correct way. It would be better for them in the long term. And the second reason I wanted to do this is I don't think most people understand how much goes in from the start to the finish of a buying side of a transaction. So I just wanted to go over how a transaction works. So here are the steps to buying a home. Step 1, start searching for houses. Wait, no, that's not right. Can you cancel this? Get pre-approved. That is your first step. Please, if you hear nothing else from this video, get pre-approved first. What does that mean? That means the same example I give to every buyer that's ever worked with me. You wouldn't go to Walmart to buy a TV, or wherever you buy your TVs, Best Buy, I don't care where. You don't go to buy a television and go, oh man, that's $2,000. I didn't expect it to be that much. When you were looking at the $2,000 price tag, you wouldn't be surprised because you would have the money in your wallet. You would know you could afford that price. So when you're buying a home, it's no different. If you start looking at houses before you know what you can afford, it's just like going to buying groceries or a TV, getting to the cash register and not having the money. It's embarrassing, it's no fun for anybody, and you end up with nothing. That's what would happen in a home buying process, except it's gonna cost you money, because you're still going to pay for things that you shouldn't be paying for because you shouldn't be under contract. So the number one step is get pre-approved. What does that mean? That means get with ideally a local lender who can tell you what you can afford and how much house you can afford, what monthly payment, and what they are estimating for your HOA fees, your taxes, and your insurance, as well as your monthly principal and interest. Many lenders overlook some of the additional fees, or they undercut on insurance and HOA and taxes, and you end up buying a house that's way too expensive for your budget. So please, if you take nothing else, that's step number 1. Get pre-approved, and get pre-approved by somebody that knows what they're doing. Get on a search. So now, step 1 for you normally becomes step 2. Once you're pre-approved, you can start your search. Of course, you've probably been driving the area or dreaming of a particular area. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about a very customized home search from a local realtor that shows you exactly the amount of bedrooms, bathrooms, size of land, year built, style of property, whether it fits your loan, etc., 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 in the particular areas you desire. Once you're pre-approved, you can shop with confidence and you can start searching for the home of your dreams. Step 3, go on showings. So obviously, once you find a home you like, you can start to go and see those homes. There's a little in-between step here that really, if you have a great agent, can make a huge difference. It's something I do for my customers. Before you see a home, you want to have the agent run numbers quickly on that home to see if it falls within the parameters of your budget. So they can look into the HOA, the taxes, the insurance costs, etc., based on what they can see, or the picture or snapshot they have, and see if it truly is a home you can afford. A $250,000 home and an HOA of $200 a month is much different than an HOA of a home that's not HOA at all, or a $250,000 house that's 2020 is a lot less expensive than a home that's a $250,000 home from 1927, right? So you have to consider all these things. Make an offer. Once you've seen a home you love, you can make an offer. Talk to your agent about what you want to offer on the home based on the parameters of the situation, the market at the time, and what you feel is fair. But the next step is to make the offer. Get under contract. Once you're under contract, that means all parties have executed and signed the documents. This is when the real work begins. Crucial step here. Inspect the home. Now, you are not required to have an inspection on any home, at least in the state of Florida. But if you do not get an inspection early on, you will have major problems possibly to face down the road. Why not spend somewhere between that, $400 to $1,000 range, depending on the size of the home you're inspecting, for most residential homes, to make sure you have peace of mind, right? Also, this can help you immensely in what could be an in-between step of renegotiating. If you find something during your inspection that you didn't expect when you first walked through the property, this is a great time to renegotiate those numbers.
Red shirt. Sorry guys, forgot the topic. Appraisals. Appraisals are a key step, but not a step that happens with every single buyer. That being said, it is a key step if you are obtaining a loan. If you're obtaining a loan on the property, you are going to have to get an appraisal. Now, while most people think of an appraisal as an inspection of sorts, there's another video we did about inspections versus appraisals. That said, an appraisal is really an opinion of value, and it's not so much to help or support you as it is to make sure and support your lender or lending institution to make sure that they're not giving you more money in your loan than what the house is actually worth. The appraisal process is going to go something like this. Once you're done with your inspection or inspection period, your lender is going to order the appraisal. An appraiser is going to drive out to the property, verify the facts of the home, such as the age, the location, go out there, check what style of product the house is built with, check the amount of bedrooms and bathrooms, make sure it's correct. Look for anything that is, permitted, such as additional patio spaces, porches, enclosed areas, additions to the home, etc. Make sure that was done correctly. And they're also going to make sure that the home conforms to your loan type. For example, if you were an FHA or a VA buyer, there might be some more specific things they're looking for safety-wise versus a standard or conventional loan product. That said, overall, the basis is about the same. They're going to compare that property to comparables in the area of what's sold that might be nearly the same neighborhood, the same year built, the same effective age, bedrooms, bathrooms, and they're going to compare the upgrades of those homes versus the home you're buying to make sure that the price is basically in line with what you're purchasing the property for. Once that report comes in, it usually goes through a process with the lender to make sure that it checks all their boxes, and then they give that report to you. Another key note here is that you do own that report. You do not have to share that report with the seller. You just simply have to let them know whether or not it reached the appraised value that it needed to for the contract. And if it doesn't, then you need to begin a renegotiation phase of either asking the seller to come down to that new appraised value, figuring out if you guys are willing to pay some towards it and them come down, or if you're willing to cover that difference between what it is and what you're willing to pay for it. That's appraisals.
Make a formal loan application. This means that based on the numbers you did a pre-approval on, you'll now be doing a formal loan application for this specific property at these specific terms. That's very simple. Shop for insurance. Steps 8, 9, and 10 kind of take place at the same time. You'll be doing a formal loan application while you're shopping for insurance and while other processes are happening. But shopping for insurance is very important. If you don't have an insurance agent that you trust, or you've just been using the same insurance company for years and haven't shopped for home insurance specifically, I highly recommend that you shop for insurance or ask your agent for an insurance agent that they trust. Again, 8, 9, and 10 happen about the same time. While you're doing your shopping for insurance and your formal loan application, a title company will be doing title work. We'll go into a deeper dive about title work in a later video, but just understand that they're making sure that as a buyer, you're protected and making sure that you get a home free of liens, free of other encumbrances, and making sure that no one can come after you for something the seller did in the past. This is when you close, the happiest day of all. This is when you'll get your final figures of how much cash you need to bring to the closing table in order to make sure that all the closing costs are paid so that you can get your home, get your keys, and get the home buying process finished up. This is where your adventure begins. Steps 12 and 13 are move in, which is something you need to plan for and probably plan for in your budgeting phase before any of this begins, as far as moving trucks, moving expenses, and distance, all that good stuff. Once you've made a plan to move in, and working with the realtor can really help with this because you'll be able to plan how much time between contract and closing you'll need, Then the next step after you get everything moved in and settled is to either in that process or as soon as you're done, post some happy photos of your family or give your agent at least a glowing review if they did a great job for you. And the best gift you can give them is to show them and tell them about your friends and family that also want to buy a house. So your last few steps are move in, enjoy your home, review your agent, and refer them to someone you love. And that's it. That's the home buying process 101.